Well, let's stay a while with the Majority Chief Whip, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekpo, who has also weighed into the growing controversy of the government's proposal to rename the country's main aviation hub, the Kotoka International Airport, suggesting the facility should be named after a Ga chief. He made the remarks on PM Express with Evans Mensah. We'll hear from him shortly, but first listen to Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin, who says the move is an indictment on the NDC.
That all these years we've had this Kotoka, General Kotoka's name on the airport, and suddenly this being changed. What is it? After it's Kotoka International Airport, Accra. So Accra is still there. So if you come to Accra, or even in the country, how many prominent Voltarians have their names on national assets or national monuments? This is the only thing the people of Volta region can also at least see as something that recognizes heroism from the Volta region. And that one too, they are being denied.
Now, speaking on the AM show on Joy News a while ago, the Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, said it is irrelevant when there are more important bread and butter issues to talk about.
You buy something, the person knows the thing is defective. You go back, he tell you, I will not exchange it. I will not even give you your money. We have stores in Ghana, foreign stores in Ghana, who has the audacity to write on the receipt, goods sold are not returnable. And you as an MP, you sit here and it's not important to you. I'm very, very angry at Parliament. Very, very angry at Parliament. The whole Parliament, especially Ayariga. What is also on renaming Kotoka? The most important thing that Ghanaians are going through is renaming Kotoka International Airport. Look, the government has done well. The dollar is coming down. Inflation is doing well. Petrol has gone down. You get my point?
You won't like this one.
Those are the kind of things I want to see.
Don't listen.
Don't tell me about some international airport renaming. Do you know how much it's going to cost the taxpayer? Because the moment you take Kotoka out of it, you have to re-change every single thing that has Kotoka on it. And we don't even think. We thought about Jubilee and what's it called? Flagstaff House. And some people promised that when they come, they will change it.
And they did.
And they did.
Does this come to you more political than?
To me, it doesn't make any sense.
Meanwhile, National Communications Director of the Convention People's Party, Osei Kofi, says the move is important to correct a wrong in the political history of Ghana.
After 60 years, justice has been served. Now, if we want to build a country, we need to be honest people. The hypocrisy in this country stinks. There are things people don't realize. When the 1966 coup happened, do you know what it did? It separated families. Certain people who were government appointees had to flee for their lives. They had to run in the middle of the night, leaving their children and wives behind. Some of them are still in exile, and I can mention one of them.
Who?
Senior Comrade Arrow from Pomanson, the father of Father Kabe from Pomanson, still in the UK. Otibonsu and other people. Now, when the 1966 coup happened, certain people lost their lives unjustly. They were not taken to court. They were not found guilty of anything, but by the fact that they were associated with Nkrumah, they were killed. And that is why we are so happy that after 60 years, justice has been served. I believe that people who have lost their life, including my grandparents, who were members of the CPP, who were unjustifiably dealt with, okay, and some of them lost their lives. I'm sure today they will pacify wherever they are. So to Ejabrefo, wherever you are, this is your vindication. To Nana Takwasi, this is your vindication. Nana Pokumensa, this is your vindication. This is to Nana Kwakumi, this is your vindication. To Nana Kwampoku, this is your vindication. To Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, this is your vindication.
And of course, a section of Ghanaians have also been expressing their views on this subject. Take a listen.
Oh, it's very necessary. They should change it. They should change it to either Ghana International Airport or Accra International Airport. Because, Kotoka, he just overthrown Kwame Nkrumah, or he overthrown Kwame Nkrumah, right? So, it's better. It's either Kwame Nkrumah International Airport, is better. Kotoka, the plan B.
What is the history behind Kotoka, the airport being named after Kotoka? I hear he was killed there. That's the story. People want to bring political issues about it and tribal issues. So maybe Accra is in Accra. So they just name it Accra International Airport and then we'll all be free.
Since Accra is the capital city of Ghana, I think the name should be Accra, not Kotoka.
Everybody knows it's Kotoka International Airport. So I don't think if they change it, that will be possible.
If they name it Kwame Nkrumah International Airport, that is good because he was the first president in Ghana. And he was the one who built the airport, not Kotoka. Because they killed him there, that is why they named him Kotoka Airport. So to me, I prefer Kwame Nkrumah Airport.
Well, still on this subject, though, the Volta Regional Representative of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Elik Blim Kwabla, has weighed strongly into the proposed renaming of the Kotoka International Airport, urging Voltarians to strongly resist any such attempts. And here is a copy of the statement he released to that effect. And it says, I've taken note of reports indicating the intention of the majority leader through the Ministry of Transport to introduce a bill in Parliament seeking to rename Kotoka International Airport as Accra International Airport. As Volta Regional Commissioner to the National Development Planning Commission, I must state clearly and firmly that the proposal represents a misplaced policy priority and must be resisted in the national interest. In the course of my work, I travel across different regions of the world and pass through many international airports. A consistent global practice is evident. Airports are often named after individuals, statesmen, reformers, and heroic citizens, and not as casual symbolism, but to reflect history, identity, and national purpose. These names have not hindered efficiency, competitiveness, or global recognition. On the contrary, they coexist seamlessly with world-class performance. So that's the statement released by the Volta Regional leader of the National Development Planning Commission. And the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, has also waded in, explaining that the proposal is not driven by political ambition, nor intended to cause public disaffection, but aims to restore the original name given to the airport by Ghana's first president, Kwame Nkrumah. He made the remarks during a working visit to the State Transport Corporation, STC terminal in Accra.
This is one of the issues the Ministry of Transport, and for that matter, government presented to Parliament, our activities for this period of the recall. Parliament will be expected to pass a lot of bills, and as government agenda, we have a lot of bills from the Ministry of Transport, and one of them is the renaming of the Kotoka International Airport to its original name. We will remember that in the period of the Second World War, around 1946, the British Royal Air Force used that place as an Air Force base to carry people to war and other activities. After that period, somewhere in 56, that facility was handed over to the civilian rule. That was the time Sergeant Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was at the helm of affairs. He retooled, he revamped, and redeveloped the Air Force base into a civilian passenger airport. And as at that time, the name was Accra International Airport. And that name is of significance to us. We all here have accepted that Accra is our capital city, marketed, rich culture, and also locational identity. That everybody in this world, especially in the West Africa sub-region, knows that where this struggle for independence had a lot to do from Accra. And so renaming the airport to Accra International Airport is of significant importance to the Ghanaian people and, for that matter, the African personality. Now, the situation is such that we are not doing this with any political thinking. We are doing this to come from a very neutral point of view that Accra is our capital city. It is not anybody's name. If we want to name other monuments or any other national facilities to people, this is the time that we are looking at restructuring them. For the fact that we had a name and it was changed to honor somebody in his role in the 1966 coup, we feel that that history is not what the Ghanaian will want to hear. The fact that it had an original name, and that name was when the first president gave that name to the airport, we should do that, and Kwame Nkrumah himself in his grave will remember, even if the spirit is anywhere and it is coming home, it will get to his original Accra International Airport, no any other name.
That's the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe. We can now hear from the Majority Chief Whip, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekwa, who believes the airport must be named after a Ga chief.
Oh, I believe, to be honest with you, I didn't follow that discussion early, but I got in sync from about a week or two ago. Okay. When I read that some CSOs had gone to petition, I think, the president or so, and they were staging some demonstration to have that done. So I began to follow the process. But for me, I would rather prefer that it's named after one of the Ghan kings than Accra. Because even though if they say Accra International Airport, a name like Kintakitewia or Gamanche, the one who died before, this one. When we were growing up, there was Gamanche the second. He was the second, very famous. When we were growing up, he was the Gamanche we all got to know. Or some famous Gan like Kwesi Saki, those people. So the symbolism will be more. I feel the symbolism more and than Accra. You know, Accra is just like the capital. So, but the name change, I'm not for and against it.
A neutral.
Yes, but when we were younger, the statue where Kotoka statue was at the airport, the historical account was that was where he fell when they killed him, when they shot him during the counter coup. So that was how come they erected the statue and named the airport after him. So the statue itself had been removed as part of the renovation works. I think sometime in 2002 or 3, when President Kufuor decided to renovate the airport, then they lifted. It was like a quadrangle. The statue was in the middle on a pillar about 10 meters high with a gun, if I remember. Then the quadrangle was prepared around it. It's all been removed, and the airport has been remodeled. So it's only existing in name. If the plaque, if the statue is gone. So if today they want to take the nameplate and put another nameplate, even if it's named after Nkrumah, I would even like that, because Nkrumah built it. It was built by the colonial administration, but he came to expand it. And so
Well, let's expand this conversation as well. And joining me on Zoom is the PRO of the Dangme Youth in Tema, Henry Oninku. Henry, what does the Dangme Youth make of the suggestion that the airport must be named after a Ga chief?
Right, Sina, thank you very much. I just want to say a very big thank you to your viewers, and then also on behalf of every Dangme youth, we want to say a very big thank you to you as well. In fact, we have had a couple of conversations happening. We have had a couple of things happening. And I must say that as Gans and as Dangmes, we are so much impressed with a move by government to rename the Kotoka International Airport as Accra International Airport. But then on a more serious note, we were of the view, I heard the majority chief whip mentioning that, you know, even he as a Voltarian, he has been able to mention names of Dangme chiefs or Gan chiefs who are prominent enough to the extent that he is suggesting that any of them should be named after the Kotoka International Airport. That is the realest truth. He was trying to mention the name of King Takitawia II. These are prominent chiefs. Even before the 1948 riot, we all heard of Nin Kwabena Boni, then Osumanche. So all what we are saying is that we side with what the majority chief whip is saying. At least when you go to Ashanti region, I'm told the airport is named after one Prempeh International Airport. As Gans as we are, we would also be very grateful to government if government can say that you have prominent Gan chiefs, Numo Kwabraboni, Ninta Kitawia, Ninta Akikomi. Any of them can be named after the Kotoka International Airport. So basically, we are of the view that government should consider that. So we are happy Accra International Airport is coming to life. Yes.
So why then should it be named after a Ga chief? Because although the airport is on Ghana, Accra is also the capital of Ghana. So why should a Ga chief name be on the airport?
Right. So thank you very much. I gave a typical example of the Prempeh International Airport in Kumasi. So if you believe that, airport in Kumasi should be named Prempeh International Airport, what prevents us from having Takitawia, Takikomi, or Taki Obli International Airport in Accra? So basically that is all. But with that being said, I must tell you that whatever decision government decide to do, we as Ghana people cannot fight government. We are just appealing. We all know Accra. Accra stands for everybody from Tema, Boom, La, Osu, all of us made up of Accra. But then singling out one prominent person to spearhead the entire agenda will be best. So basically, that's all we are asking for.
And what metric would you suggest they use to select a Ga chief if they are to do that?
Right. So I love when you interviewed the majority chief whip. He mentioned that even at his tender age, he had the good works of one Ga chief by name Nin Takitawia. Now, when you get to the Rawlings Park, as I speak to you now, there's a statue of a Ga chief around the Rawlings Park. I don't know if you've taken note of this. Is the man we are talking about. We have a local song, Takitawia by Gamanchano, Ni Eji Ehemanche Papa. Everybody that is tracing Ga chieftaincy issues and Ga traditional leadership, everybody has to mention Takitawia because during his time as the chief of Ga, he was able to reunite the entire Gadangme caucus. And that is one reason why some of us would want to push for Accra International Airport be named after Takitawia. Or right. Any other Gamanche. Now, I am saying that it can be any other Gamanche because we have Ni Kwabena Boni also playing a very pivotal role, though he was a chief of Osu. We have my own grandfather, Ni Aje Oninku II, who is also a chief of Tema. They all played a very pivotal role as far as building Ghana, building Greater Accra is concerned. So any of them at all that comes in. In fact, we just want to have a name, Takitawia, Takikomi, Newbly. That's all we are asking for.
Henry Oninku is the PR of the Dangme Youth in Tema. Thank you for your time this afternoon, Henry. Let's talk about inflation now, because Ghana's year-on-year inflation rate has dropped sharply to 3.8% in January 2026. We'll give you the details of that and more after this break.